All right, getting it all done. Well, welcome to Lunch and Learn After Dark, guys. So excited to have you here. And we've got Inez in the hot seat. Inez is our newest promotion. There could be more, I have no idea. But she just made sales coordinator. Tell us about how you did it, that journey, those last days or those last couple orders. How in the world did you pull that out?
You know, Sharon, for once, I really just asked.
Oh.
And of course, Nanette was helping me all along the way. And I don't know, I guess my energy must have been different, because when I asked, I got results. And that was so amazing. And I'm excited to be sales coordinator at this point. In fact, I am declaring QSSC coming very soon.
Well, why
Yes.
not? Why not? Okay, so what I've seen, I'll pin myself.
Can we
to.
expand on?
Yeah, we're
just
gonna.
asking
We're
and
gonna.
stuff? Yeah.
We're adding ourselves to the spotlight so people can see both. All right. Okay. So Inez, we want to know more details. Don't you guys want to know more details? Can you put some detailed questions in the chat? Because I mean, she. What happened is, first of all, anytime there was a goal, we set it. All of us, say Nalani, Nanette, Inez, me, whoever. We all kind of knew Inez's goal, and then like 3 days later or something, she's achieving it. So tell us what that's about. Like, how does that happen, first of all?
That's a great question.
Okay.
That happens because I really take the time to connect with the people and follow up with them. It's all in the follow-up. And as I start to follow up, I start getting more yeses. And then I start getting tell me more. And then I tell them more. And it's a process. It doesn't just happen right away most of the time.
Mhm.
And with my partners, especially this getting the SC was one of my partners didn't have the shakes and the completes. That's the complete and the bars. And that took me over the top.
Okay. So you not only quote sold Juice Plus, you closed the deal, whatever you want to call it, on people, you know, your customers, you had to actually quote sell your own team member on getting their own complete and perform, right? Kind of.
Not the perform, the shakes and the bars.
Okay. Oh, the shakes and the bars. So sometimes in our business, we're always quote selling something. Like we're trying to sell you guys on getting on Lunch and Learn After Dark. Everything we do, if you guys can remember that, is we're always trying to sell you on something. We're selling you on getting you to conference. It's really for your own good, right? You weren't telling her to buy shakes and bars because you think they're lousy, right? So everything we're doing is always kind of selling. I mean, teachers do it, parents do it, everybody's doing it. Okay, nobody wants to admit
life is
it.
selling, Sharon. Life is selling. Whatever we're selling ourselves all the time. That's just a given. Whether we have a product or even if we don't even realize we're selling ourselves, we're selling all the time. And how we sell is completely up to us. And as that happens, I have discovered the more that I am being me, the better results I have.
Right, you're not worrying about what people are thinking about you. Is that what you mean?
No, I don't worry. I don't worry, because whatever they say about me is their business. It's not my business. I just keep going.
I love it. Nanette, give us some things to ask Inez or to comment on. What did you see happening?
Well, first of all, we're in contact a lot because she knows how to run her reports, but she'll run the reports and she'll just ask me like for backup, and she'll be, okay, so this is what I see and this is what I do. And so I guess the important thing is in utilizing your sponsor or your upline, when you have a question or you don't quite understand something, it's okay to call and ask. She will call and ask me, and then she'll be like, okay, so let's go over this. And so that's what we did. And the funny thing is that on Friday, and she's been working towards sales coordinator, so you know it's a rolling 6 months, right? So at one point she was like, okay, I'm going for sales coordinator, let's look at the numbers. And we were going from October 1st forward, right? And she would get close. And then, you know, if it didn't happen that month, then we would just move the date forward and just move the date forward. But her right after QSC, she wanted to be performance bonus qualified, and she did that. And then the next thing was the sales coordinator. So it came down to, we moved after the end of last month. I looked at, we looked at the report, and I was like, well, let's look from November. So we said November 14th to May 14th. The funny thing is, okay, so this is another tip. When you're calculating stuff, calculate it separately and check each other. Because we were calculating her points, and like one of us was reading it off. I don't even remember which was doing which, and one of us was calculating. We accidentally left off an order.
Oh,
and it happened to be a Protective Plus order. So that's for 420 points. And so when I submitted her promotion, we had left off that order. So the promotion committee was like, she's still short. Still short 211 points. And thankfully, Sharon, you let us know early enough in the day, because we didn't want it to move the calendar forward again, because she had a couple of other orders on the 14th of November that we wanted to include. And then it would have been a larger amount. But even with that, it was still like, what, 672 points off. And we knew that that was the equivalent of, we're talking promotional points. So we knew that was like Protective Plus order, which is the trio plus the Omegas, and like a trio order. So, it like my heart sunk.
Your
and
heart
I was
sunk.
like, okay, but we can still do this. We can still do this. We can still make it happen. And so just knowing early enough was helpful. And then we just, I just was helping to help her to think of different ways. I was like, it doesn't have to be just the new customers. Okay, let's look at where your team is. So then we looked at her report and saw who on her team maybe could get something else. And then she was like, oh, okay, all right, that's something. We'll look at all the possibilities. And then she took it from there. So basically all I did was just be there to when she had a question, or to look at things in a slightly different way.
And encourage her. You encouraged her a lot. And so $600 sponsor bonus and participant bonus for fast tracking the sales coordinator. Congratulations. And I think it's like access to Brave Leaders. You guys help me out. What else does she get? We're no longer doing free conference tickets. Just always want to announce that, because that's no longer happening with the company. But she's gonna, leads. Oh my gosh. Leads are worth a lot. All right. So thank you, ladies, for adding that in and giving us some excitement. Inez, we are so proud of you, and you're just
amazing.
Very amazing how you're very goal directed. Okay, so we are going to go to Karen Orlowski, and she's going to tell us why she chose.
Sorry.
I'm
just so sorry.
Oh,
I just want to say
Please
my
interrupt
favorite part of that story, Inez,
is
that you needed something, so you just went out and got it. And I think that's so true of so many things in life. Like, people don't realize that. It's like, well, my gosh, how do you do that? You just go make it happen. Like, you just do. I don't know if you guys watched that Clubs World, the global thing today. It was really good. I streamed it into the Facebook group. You should definitely watch it. But these are all super successful people. And one guy was just saying, I love it. It sounds like Grant Cardone. He says, you do whatever it takes. You set a goal and you do whatever it takes. And that doesn't mean like whatever it takes, as long as it doesn't conflict with, walking my dog at the park or something like that. That means like, you don't even take a shower, whatever it takes, So I mean, I just think I really respect and admire that, because that's one of the keys to success. People that do great things to make the great things happen. So
yeah, and you can count on Inez. Whatever she puts out there, she then goes and gets. So very goal directed. Love it. Okay, so I know there were so many good things to talk about. I wanted to thank people who encouraged me last night. Michelle, Karen, people reached out to me and gave me like kudos after I was super stressed out. Oh, even before Michelle encouraged me. And I don't know if you know this, but I still have anxiety about doing presentations for some reason. So I appreciate that you guys were very supportive, because Doug really had to go through it, yesterday to get through that time when I did the presentation till afterwards when we had wine together on the porch.
I'm not saying anything.
It was terrible. So
I like how Doug did all the posting and reminding of the event and posting of you. I thought it was really sweet.
That's awesome. Thank you, Melissa. Anyway, so thanks for the encouragement. So we were talking about how much that meant to me. And then Doug's like, encouragement is for free. We should remember that and always encourage as much as possible.
It didn't. And now let me just tell you guys, like, it really, you would think like, she's the one that gives the confidence is king speech and talk and she's 50 Club NMD and she's Sharon, she can do anything. But for Karen and Michelle, those are the only ones I remember off the top of my head. For her to get those messages, 24 hours later, she's still flying high talking about it. And I'm like, that cost Michelle and Karen $0. So imagine with our teams, with our family, with our children, with anybody, never forget to just compliment and shower people with love, because it makes a big difference.
Yay. Okay. And then the club call was awesome today. If you guys didn't get to see it, that was really, really.
It was also the best talk you ever gave, and maybe anybody's ever given. So it's like, we're definitely going to use that sucker
That's
again.
funny.
It's so good.
So I had to go on Kurt Beaver's, oops, he's in this group, but I had to go on his thing and download it because they just put it up on Start JP Now. They don't like send it out. So I went on there today and I got
We already got it, Kurt.
Yeah, got it, Kurt. Anyway.
Well, you went on there and got it.
Okay, so we're gonna go to shred so that we have time. And I don't know what I did. I somehow double did something with our
What do you mean?
oh, there, maybe because I didn't answer that, the
Okay.
whole got it thing. We were kind of double posted on this. I don't know how, but anyway, okay, so we're gonna go to Evie. I'm hoping I'm not still spotlighted. I feel like we still are spotlighted and I keep
So
checking.
we wanted to, we're moving towards the wheel and trying to use more and more of the wheel and teach you guys about the wheel from Shelly Mackey. And her system involves a shred every single month. And we've actually moved to a shred every single month. The problem is poor Karen is working on the shred every month and nobody's doing the shred. So we kind of we have it in place. It's just, we have to market it and remind and send a million reminders and make it a part of the culture of what we do. So we're trying to change the culture for us and for you guys so that we just can have more success. So we're going to get better with it, and we're going to help Karen. We're going to all help Karen with
and this was initiated by Melissa and Karen to talk about the shred and to get with the program. So Karen, tell us, just tell us a little background, and maybe you can talk about Evie, and then Evie's going to share a lot. Evie is the queen of the shred. So we got the queen on another queen. Okay, go ahead, Karen.
So yes, I am definitely not the shred queen. I have never done a shred 100%. And I think that also helps people, to know that they don't have to do it 100%. But I'm on most of the Lunch and Learns, and, we've got the boards and we're listening to the Wheels of Success. And it has been more than 5 times. I know that Doug and Sharon, we've talked about the Wheels of Success on the Lunch and Learn, and Shelly Mackey in this, and we've shown the video from conference with Nanette, and we talk about it and we talk about it. And then the shred comes along and it's like, wah, wah. So, and I don't even do, I really have not done much. I did come up with the Post My Party. I came up with 10 days. I came up with some verbiage, and then I simply just schedule it to post in there, which is not good for me, because then once I've kind of scheduled it, which is great because I know it's going, but I kind of forget about it. And I think when we all did a shred, when we had a shred group, really in 2020, we kicked butt with the shred because everybody was at home. Right. Everybody was kind of like, oh, what are we doing now? Everybody was sitting in front of a computer. And I know I did some of my bets, and I had 3 people sign up in 1 month as team members because they had such a good shred. So that's what I keep thinking about. Like, why do I not continue that when it was so successful? I don't even have a good answer for that. So when we kept talking about this, I just thought, you know, these posts are going in there, but we are not having the activity. We don't have the engagement. We're not getting, the reason we got out of a shred group, quite honestly, is because we've seen Jill, we've heard, you know, Shelly Mackey. We want it in the customer group, honestly, guys, because we have almost 3,000 people in there. I have a ton of people in there that are simply prospects. They're not even Juice Plus customers. So the more excited we can get them, not just about the Juice Plus products, but about this transformation and about how, you know, they can feel better. And about how it's really a community thing. And it's not just about the Juice Plus. It's not like, oh, take Juice Plus and this is going to help you. It is going to help you, but it's in addition to these 10, you know, these 10 things, and it's only for 10 days. So we really are helping people. It's, you know, when they go to Whole Foods or they go somewhere and they buy a product, the people are like, you know, check out, see ya, good luck. You know, nobody follows up with them. We're trying to help people have a better result and have a better transformation. And I just feel like, you know, myself included, we're not doing a great job of getting everybody in that group excited when there is a shred. I mean, I do the post and sometimes there's 2 or 3 likes. There's no comments. Nobody's, you know, very few people are posting meals. We're not posting about the shakes. We're not getting excited about it. We really need the excitement. And I think what's going to happen is then we're going to get the people who, like my customers who have said, no, 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 I don't want to do this. They're going to see people having great results from the shred. And then they're going to say, okay, maybe you were right, Karen, maybe I want to try this. So I'm excited to hear from Evie because she is the shred queen and she has such, I mean, whatever she's doing, I want to sign up for because she has boundless energy anyway, and she's always happy. So why you wouldn't want to do what she's doing? So I'm excited to hear from her. But that was just my plea is like, and I don't know if we need to do it by group because I know Carmen Maxwell, it seems like, you know, the team does it like, you know, my team would do it 1 month and then Jules' team. So that way it's not falling on the same people all the time. So I don't know if that's the right way to do it or not, but we'll figure that out.
All right. Thank you, Karen. All right, Evie, superstar. Let's hear from you. And you can tell us maybe just a tiny bit of your story, but really focusing on the shred and how you do it all month long to lead up to it. And you mentioned social media posts too. So would love to hear more about that. Yeah, no
Yes.
pressure, Evie.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here tonight. And I know that Michelle and Melissa, I know that the team has reached out to me before about the shred. And I know that Melissa has been a great deal of help. So I know that she will be a great asset to Karen in the future. She's helped me in the past shreds that we've done too. So I do have some slides. Sharon, I came up with some stuff to share. Would you be able to make me a co-host? Thank you. So a little bit about myself, just my shred story. You know, Carmen is my upline. She's also my national marketing director, a dear friend of mine. And when she asked me to do the shred, I'm like, you want me to do what? For what? And what? And so you know, and she told me to give myself grace. And I remember this saying that she always told me from the beginning is better out than in. So I share that with all of my people that, you know, do the shred because they're like, I'm breaking out or I'm going to the bathroom or, you know, some type of detox signs and stuff. So I'm like, better out than in. Carmen Maxwell shared that with me. So I always tell people that. But, you know, when I started doing the shred religiously every single month and following those guidelines, it's really become a lifestyle for me and my whole entire family. And that's what I encourage everybody who does the shred with me is to incorporate some of those guidelines until the next one, and then incorporate another guideline until you're following all 10 guidelines. Yes, you can have some treat days. I like to call them treat days, not cheat days. And, you know, because you have to give yourself grace, you can't take everything away, right? And so when I do the shred, I mean, I definitely notice that I lean out, I have more muscle definition, I have even more energy than I typically have. And I just feel really great, sleep well. So it's really become the way that my whole entire family really takes care of ourselves. So we do lead a shred lifestyle now. But I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here really quickly, just so I can remember what I'm supposed to be talking about. Okay, so this is kind of what I do, my steps for the shred. So I start off with kind of a curiosity post, an engagement post, whatever you want to call it, on social media. And then also I have current customers, right, that do the shred each month, or they'll take a month off. So I need to connect with them as well. So for social media, you know, I post a post just like this one, and it's basically just taking all the 10 guidelines and putting them into a post, or all the things that the shred is supposed to do for you, and putting them in a post and saying, hey, do you, you know, do you do this, or are you feeling this way? Can you button your jeans? You know, are you feeling sluggish? And, you know, things that you may feel after the holidays, because this was my post in January. I took it from my Facebook. So these are symptoms that you may be feeling, or things that are happening in your life. So you need to jumpstart your body to making those healthier choices. So I'll do a post like this. And then we, in Voxer, we have a social media, like Together We're Stronger. And so people will put their post into that Voxer, and then we go and support them, whatever that looks like. So like, for instance, I posted this, I'll share it in the Voxer. My whole team that's in that Voxer will go and just comment on my post and say, oh my gosh, I can't wait for the shred. I love doing the shred, or can I get more details, or, you know, whatever it is. So we kind of get some engagement, and it kind of gets seen a little bit more in the thread as well. So we ask our team to help with post. And then whoever messages, or whoever likes the message or comments on the message, obviously I, you know, comment back, and I message them privately, try to ask them, you know, what stood out to them about my post. Is there anything that you're feeling? You know, just kind of ask questions so that I can see what their need is and how I can help them, and then tie the shred into that. And then I, you know, share my shred story. I love, there's like a 3 to 4 minute shred video that I'll share, like once they ask more questions about the shred, I'll share that. And then I love Julie's recording. I think it's like 12 minutes. I'll send that one if they want additional information. And then I just continue to love on them, ask them questions, and share the guidelines with them. And then before, we were scheduling monthly events for the shred as well, where we would have our teammates come on and share their shred stories, so people could hear, you know, what their shred story is, because everybody's story is different. So I think events are really great for that too. And then when they're ready to order, obviously you want to share a cart with everything that they need for the shred 10. And then current customers, I really use Project Broadcast to share with current customers. Kind of I let them know that the shred's coming up. Do you need any shake orders? You know, check in on their supplies, add them to a private messenger chat that I have. And then there's a messenger chat that I have, and I always try to change the photo for each month and the theme, because you can change the colors, you can put different emojis like in the picture and stuff. So I try to update that all the time. And I'll get into with the messenger chat in just a second, but I'll go on to the next one. And then obviously we have so many great resources for the Shred 10. You know, on the Freedom Revolution, we have lots of resources, and I get a lot of the stuff because in that shred group, I really loved our shred group, but it really did get huge, and there was only like 5 people participating and stuff. You know, we had over 1,000 or 1.5 people in there, and so that is a lot of people, and so we closed that one, but we didn't like delete it. So there's so many good resources in there. If you just put in the search, like, you know, anything in there, it'll pop up. So I use that for resources too, because why create the, you know, recreate the wheel if it's already there. So I share from that. And then we do have our our One Simple Change, our team customer page. And then I created albums in that page where we have all 10 guidelines there. So it has, you know, the detox, and it has just a whole bunch of information on detox, why no caffeine, why no sugar, and just a whole bunch of images and just information. So when someone says, okay, and then the Shred 10 resources, that's where I tag people whenever someone says they're interested in doing the shred. I always make sure that I tag them in there. And then I say, this is a great place to start. And then if someone says, okay, I don't think I can give up coffee, then I'll tag them in the coffee one and just say, you know, like caffeine, just say, you know, there's really great information in here. Take a look at it, because we all know that if we know the why behind things, then we're going to understand it, and we might do it a little bit more if we understand what that's doing to our body. I love Pinterest. Obviously, there's great information on there as well. Google, I always Google things, pictures, images, things like that. Shred 10 events, so that's just an image that we've done for the Shred 10 event, inviting people. And then we've done that so many different ways, you know, like people sharing their story, going through Dr. Mitra Ray, sharing the video, the slides, things like that. And then customer One Simple Change, like I said, the albums are there. So that's kind of where I get resources and what I look for. But like I said, this is all available to us, and the wheel is already created. And then the Shred 10 leading up to, and then during and after. So leading up to the shred, you know, schedule a Shred 10 event, curiosity post, add potential shredders to the One Simple Change page, tag them in the shred resource album, message potential shredders, like I said, create a Facebook messenger group. So what I do is all my customers that want to be a part of the shred, I make a messenger chat for all of them. And then we have like a sidebar that we're talking about things, but then I tag them in like the survey at the end of the night, or posts that are posted by other team members. I tag them in those so that they see them, and then they comment on it as well. And then share resources through messenger chat, the daily flyers, you know, how to make shakes, what are some tips and tricks for things, and then you know, obviously tag them in the shred guidelines to make sure that they continue all the shred guidelines, you know, throughout, or they're aware of them. And then during the shred, you want to continue to tag. So we talk about liking and tagging, and then letting them know that you tag them in those things. And that's what I do through Messenger. Like I'll say, hey, I just tagged you in this post, go check it out. Give us your feedback. Let us know what your shake was today, or give us something unique that you put in your shake. And then continue to build that community in your messenger chat, continue to share resources, you know, like I said, tag, and then make sure at the end, I always, for the shred group, the way that we do it in the One Simple Change is that each team member, so like I have a team, April has a team, Michelle has a team, and that week they share. So April kind of coordinates it, and she gets with her team and says, okay, you share on Tuesday, you share on Monday, you know, whatever day it is. So like Karen, your team would have the first week, and then Melissa's team would have the second week, and Michelle's team would have the fourth week, or whatever that looks like for you guys. And then they're in charge of that whole week. And we try to do like a motivational Monday. Tuesdays, we try to do a curiosity post. And then Thursdays, we follow up with that curiosity post, like the answer or whatever it was. Like, I can't remember what I did last month right now, but just asking, you know, what's your favorite utensil in the kitchen or whatever. And then on Thursday, you can say, well, this one is mine. Just follow up with whatever you want to touch base with. And then Wednesdays, you know, we typically try to just share like a Wellness Wednesday tip or something. And then Fridays, we were doing 5 on Friday, where you get a customer and you ask them, you know, about Juice Plus, like share your Juice Plus story. What does that look like for you? You just get on Zoom, you go live, and they share their story inside. So 5 on Fridays. So that's kind of what the week looks like. And then each team takes the week and then shares that whole week on whatever it is that you're doing. And then obviously the shred is the first 10 days, whatever that first Monday is, and then going. And also for the shred, if it goes over a holiday, we just started doing this. If it goes over a holiday, we give the shredders an option to take a break. And, you know, like Mother's Day, maybe you guys are going out to a brunch and you don't want to follow the guidelines for that. So take a break. Or we lead them up, like Cinco de Mayo. I shared recipes that were shred friendly. So yes, you can still celebrate Cinco de Mayo. You can still have a margarita, but maybe it's a, you know, this different type without alcohol in it and stuff. And so you just kind of take a break from it that day if you need to. You can add a day at the end, or you just take a break and you just give yourself grace because, you know, it's something that, you know, is fun for you and what you want to be involved in. Like the 4th of July is going to be in the next shred coming up in July. So we'll just have to give, you know, tips and tricks for that as well. So that's kind of, I think, Sharon, what you asked me to share. So I'd be more than happy to answer any questions or add anything else that you'd like.
Yeah, I am sure that people have questions.
What do you, okay, I do, because
Okay.
I know in our group, what do you think gets the most interaction from, not team, but like just people in the group?
I think they like education around things. They like knowing, like one of the posts that I did was seasonal fruits for the month. You know, what's in season for the month of July. And when you post that, then people like to hear that stuff. I think they like to hear, you know, overnight oats, easy, simple ways to do things is what they like.
That's good.
Like health hacks.
Health
Yeah.
hacks.
Yeah.
How are you getting people on the shred? I mean, that's kind of my question the most. I want you guys to think of your questions because Evie is really doing well with this. So first of all, just kind of if we were new, what would you tell us to get how to help get people on the shred?
Are you saying like for me talking to a new customer or me talking to a partner, getting them going more?
Either way, or both.
Okay. So as a, you know, I just really share what the shred has done for me. And I think people watch me and I really live, is it walk the talk or talk the walk or something like that, you know, like yeah. I live Juice Plus and I live the shred 10, you know? So I think that if people are watching you and you're living that way, they see you making shakes, they're curious about what you're doing. Like I just had someone reach out to me about my post yesterday, you know? So it's just being consistent, following up with people, and then also, you know, sharing just what the shred has done for people as well. And then for partners, like I really grew my business through the Shred 10 program. And that was just from, you know, sharing on social media. And I would build like collages of myself during the shred, like day one, take pictures of everything that I did and make a collage and post it so people would see, and I put it on my story. So it got a lot of people asking questions like, what are you doing? Because they saw a workout picture, they saw me drinking a shake, they saw me, you know, putting some inspirational quotes and things like that on there. So I think making collages inspired other people to make collages, and then also just for them to ask questions as well.
Okay, so Doug says that's a thing on Instagram, collages. Or are you saying you actually go on like Pick Collage and you put all your pictures in one thing?
Yeah, yep, that's what I do.
Okay, so it's an app. There's a lot of apps like that.
Yeah, yep. I do photo grid. Can you hang on just one
Yes,
second?
yes.
Okay, one sec, sorry.
So what, one thing, I can talk about Evie while she's busy. But so Evie's like this athlete that's like not only like an Ironman, but I think she runs like 50-mile races or something crazy. So I think it's easy to think, well, it's easy for Evie to just post what she eats and stuff because she's like a perfect eater and an athlete and all this stuff. But I think I know from my experience, I'm somebody who like kind of struggles with all that and goes up and down, you know. And so I've been down since I moved to Jacksonville, which means my weight has gone up. And what I find is I'm pretty confident about Juice Plus and things in general, but I lose my confidence when I'm not really living the mission. And I don't think people need to see somebody who's a triathlete in order to be inspired by them. If you know anybody, you might know somebody that might be like 400 pounds. And if they lose 50 pounds, you're following what they're doing. You want to know what's up. You want to support them. So I think it's important. The bottom line here is what I'm hearing from Evie is that she lives the mission. Well, this is our old saying. What is it? Live the mission, share your journey, or
Yeah,
share your journey.
Mhm.
So as you just live the lifestyle, you share your journey. And so maybe we don't have enough to share. Sometimes we feel like we don't have anything to share. That's probably because we're not tower gardening, we're not living the mission, we're not cooking something healthy, we're not exercising. And that's part of what we do in this community. So
Mhm.
that's encouraging.
Those are
That's
the
what I'm
things we
hearing
tell
here.
ourselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm
It's
hearing.
not about you
Evie's
guys.
telling her story, but I'm putting it on myself saying, yeah, I got to get into a groove of living the mission and sharing my journey better.
So when do you start promoting the shred? Is the shred what you're all about all month long? Or is there a certain date that you target?
So I try to start talking about the shred 2 weeks prior because you want to get their orders in. So at least 2 weeks, because you have to have the conversation, because you're not going to say, okay, do the shred, order this. You have to have the conversation. You have to explain why you do what you do, explain the 10 guidelines, share a video. How long is it going to take for them to watch that video? So it's kind of a process. So I at least 2, maybe even 3 weeks prior, just start sharing and asking also my current customers. I do weekly fruit and veggie tales from Evie through Project Broadcast. And so it's like my week or my monthly like newsletter, and it tells them when the next shred's coming up. And then I give like, health hacks for that month. Like for February was heart awareness. And so I put information on heart awareness, put in a heart healthy recipe. So it was all geared towards whatever that month looked like. And so that is kind of when I start. Like I'll send out the fruit and veggie tales, let them know an event that I would love for them to come to. Also, when our next shred is, if you're interested, I ask them to give me a flex symbol or something, so I get some engagement there. So, and also throughout the shred, I forgot to mention this, whenever we do like a contest or have them do something for a prize, then we get more engagement too. Like for March, we did eat green vegetables. So every time you eat something green, take a picture of it and post it. And so all those names went into a drawing, and then we drew at the end of a shred. And then that person got something, whoever's team won that, like customer, they buy them whatever they want to buy them. So if I was to pull out someone on Sharon's team, then Sharon, you're in charge of paying for someone or getting them their gift or prize or whatever for winning.
So when you do your Project Broadcast, your customer care stuff, is that just for your customers, or is that happening with all of Carmen's team? Is that just what you do?
It's what I do.
And do you go direct? I mean, you have a team and stuff, so like you have your direct customers, but what if I was like 4 levels down on your team? Would my customers get stuff from you, or are you just going direct?
No, I go direct to all of my customers, and then I have my team on there so they see what I'm doing. So if they want to do what I'm doing, then they can, copy and paste and change it and make it their own. So it's easy.
Cool. And just so all you guys know, I know sometimes on Lunch and Learns, I might talk about, how Project Broadcast gets expensive. But like for on a Monday lunch and learn, I send out like 950 messages with a graphic. So I end up spending over $100 a month on Project Broadcast. But this is probably pretty affordable because you only have so many customers and you're only sending out maybe once a week or twice a month.
Yep.
So it's doable for everybody, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I pay $15 a month for that. And I send out, like I said, the fruit and veggie tales, I send that out. That's just a newsletter that I send to everyone. And then I try to use that for I try to use that for Juice Plus. Like that's my Juice Plus number that I try to communicate like your next shipment, touch base with people and things like that too. But obviously I have a lot of friends that are we're still texting back and forth through my, my personal phone number.
That's
Right. Okay, let's go to Renee.
Hello, thank you. Let me lower my hand now. So Evie, I have a question. I have never participated in a shred. I don't really know a whole lot about it. I do have all the products. So if I was new to your team, how would you coach me so that I would know how to have a conversation with my customer base or with complete strangers? That's what I'm looking for. What does that look like from your perspective? What are you saying to engage people to get that interest in the Shred 10 program?
So first of all, I would definitely reach out to your upline and do a 3-way connection call, because those are really great and you don't have to know everything and your upline is there to help you. And what's so great about this business is that we earn and learn at the same time. So I would definitely recommend that. But I would set up a connection call with them and coach my team member as I am talking to that customer and just talking, getting to know them and finding that need from them and getting that from just talking about the guidelines and, some of the ways that they may be feeling, just like that post that I posted about sluggish and maybe your pants aren't fitting the same way, so just having that conversation. And I can't really tell you like exactly what I talk about because everyone's totally different and they might be wanting to do it for a different reason. So honestly, I would, refer back to the guidelines, why we do the things that we do, and really find their need to answer what they're looking for. Does that make sense or answer your question?
It does. I think I'm looking for something that's probably more scripted as a comfort level.
Oh, okay. I know that there's lots of.
I'm her upline, and I'm not going to help her as much with this. I'm like, you're not getting off that. Let's do a role play. Let's pretend that Renee is a prospect for you. Why don't you just role play and talk to her?
Okay, awesome. Yeah, no problem. So Renee just commented on my Facebook and I reached out to her through Messenger and I said, Renee, what is it about my post, or what is it about what stood out to you in my posts that you liked or commented on?
Oh, I love the post. I think probably the idea of being sluggish and just overall, just a general feeling of tiredness. And your post sounded like something I might want to try. I've never done shakes before. So.
Okay. And where do you think the sluggishness, like why did that happen?
I work too much. I don't know.
So what would you say about your eating habits right now?
Well, I think my eating habits are pretty good. I mean, I try to incorporate, as many fruits and vegetables and watch my carbs. I don't eat a ton of sugar. I do drink lots of water.
Okay, no, that's a great start. So we have a program. It's called the Shred 10. It's 10 guidelines for 10 days, and it's really meant to jumpstart your body to making those healthier choices. Do you think that you could commit to something for 10 days?
I bet I could. Could you tell me a little bit more about what the guidelines are and what I'm committing to?
Yes, I will definitely send those through Messenger. So I like them to visually see it, but I do talk about it as well. I would explain each 10 guidelines, and we give you grace. So I know this is your first shred. So we could definitely, reduce or eliminate. Obviously, if you can eliminate these 10 guidelines, you're going to have the best results. But, we know that it's your first one, and we know sometimes that can be hard. So if you can follow the guidelines as best to your ability, that would be awesome. I also have a Shred 10 short little video that I can share with you too. Would you like me to send that over to you?
That would be very helpful. So what do I need to get started?
Yeah, so to get started, all you would need to do is start with our fruit, veggie, and berry capsules. I also do the omega as well. My family actually takes all 4 of them. And then you would also have to have the shakes too, because we recommend 1 to 2 shakes a day. And obviously we recommend the Juice Plus Complete because just because of, the research and the gut health, because that's what we're really trying to do with the Shred 10 is detox all those toxins and help you get a healthier gut as well.
Okay. Now I'm going to kind of pause and break here for just a minute. So do you ever have anybody ask you about the cost of that? And if they do, what is your response to that?
I just tell them, I break it down to them. We have our complete shakes. They're 60 servings, which if you do the shred, you can still have extra after that. I break it out into, I don't have the current prices memorized as well as I had the last ones. So I would say it's, $200 or $160 a month, and broken down is $2.33. That's what the old price was. So, it's definitely less than a coffee a day. And you can't drink coffee on the Shred 10. So, that would incorporate that. And then, we start where we're at. 12 years ago, I started with the fruit and veggie blend. Then when I learned about the berries and what that did for me, I wanted to add that in. And then I had to add the omegas in as well. And if you don't know where to get started, I would recommend the fruit and veggies, and then I can share the berry blend rest. We have a short little video on the berries, and we have a short little video on the omegas too, that you can definitely take a look at and see if you want to incorporate those as well.
Okay.
I like to give people options. I don't like to say, you have to take the quad. That isn't me. I always try to meet them where they're at. And I always recommend, I say my whole family takes the quad, but I also know that some people don't want to start with the quad. They want to start with the duo, and that's okay, because I'm going to continue to educate them and share education on the berries whenever, I have a system too that if, after a short period of time, I'll share, if they're not taking something, I'll share information on that as well. So.
Okay. All right. That's been really helpful. I love the role play.
Evie, I have a question that this used to come up for me a little bit. I'm sorry, Karen, 1 second.
No, go ahead.
So when I used to share, I used to hear this one, so if we're doing a 10-day thing, how come I'm ordering a 4-month supply of Juice Plus?
Oh, well, I haven't come across that, to be honest, but what I would just say is that, the Juice Plus, we send it in a 4-month supply. The reason why we send it that way is because of the research that backs up what it does. We regenerate new red blood cells every 4 months, and you save on shipping. So the capsules, we ship them in a 4-month supply, and that's just the way that it is. I know the shred is only 10 days, but this is going to help you, for an additional couple of months as well.
And just so everybody else knows, when I just got hit, she hit me with a brick in the head, because if she is all about the shred, and that's the objection I'm concerned about, I was probably projecting that objection onto people. You know what I mean? Usually when
she doesn't have that objection.
Right. When people are like, well, everybody always talks about the cost. Everybody talks about the cost. I'm like, nobody's talking about the cost. It must be something you're saying. So I must have been saying something. So that's good. Thank you, Evie. Go ahead, Karen.
Well, and I think to add to that, what I usually say now, especially is, I use the analogy of a gym, which is kind of ironic because I'm not a gym rat, and a workout person like Evie, but, I'll say you don't join a gym for 10 days, you're going to want to continue this. So many people really love the results after that 10 days that they keep that in some form. A lot of people will still shred, let's say Monday through Thursday or Monday through Friday, and then let themselves, have alcohol, do whatever on, the weekends. And you're going to want to continue with that Juice Plus. And we're going to be doing another shred next month. You're going to want to continue, this Juice Plus. So the fact that we're doing this every month, I think helps that as well. Instead of it just being willy-nilly, we're going to promote it every 3 or 4 months,
And that's a good point that you said that, because honestly, that's what I say too, is that we do it every month, every first Monday of the month. So yeah, you have a 4-month supply, so you get to do it 4 months, right? So that's a really great point. And I loved your gym analogy as well. So those are 2 great things that we can take away, if we do come across that question, because honestly, I haven't had that question asked.
Okay.
What video do you share?
It's a 4-minute video with Dr. Mitra Ray and the athlete. I can't remember.
Kelly.
Yes.
You find that's powerful enough?
Well, it's very short, and I think it kind of gets them a little hooked. And then when they want more, because I feel like sometimes when you send a longer video, they're not going to listen to it. They're not going to watch it. So if you can just send that, I think there's enough information, just a little bit of information for them to ask for additional information. And sometimes I'll even ask, hey, I have a 4-minute video and I have an 11-minute video. Which one would you prefer? I also do that as well. So.
All right, let's just keep hammering questions at Evie. We got her. Let's go.
I have a statement for Evie. I think probably you don't have a problem with anybody asking you about how much it costs. It's because I heard you say that you tell them. So when you tell them up front, there's no cost factor coming up because you make it easy for that decision to be made to say yes.
Gosh.
Thank you, Inez. We're gonna share our screen for a second here and share the boards. Okay.
This is the Campbell team board.
If you don't have this yet, you
I think
will.
you go to Shelley's system. And then
The one, here it is. Shred 10 is the key.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got people, signing up for the shred. It's an opportune time to then say what Shelley says. Where is it? Down here? There it is. Gosh, with your quad. Now, as Evie said, not everybody's going to sign up for the quad. Gosh, with your quad and shake order, you should just be a family rebater. So you could use this verbiage. What's that? You pay $52 a year. You get paid back on your own family's orders. Now, this is assuming that once you plant the seed, their mind is going to go to, yeah, my mom could do this with me. My sister could do this with me. My cousin could do this with me. You don't have to sell Juice Plus, but if you want to share it with at least one other person in the next 10 days, you're going to get $100 back from the company. If you'd like to become a family rebate or partner to get paid back on your own orders or anyone you choose to share Juice Plus with, then there's 2 additional pieces of information I need. So she has her own little order form, and I love to text order forms to people, and it's here. Oops, oh, there was a link. Okay. So on her order form at the bottom, and Shelley does a lot of in-person live meetings, even now she's back to doing them. She'll drive, she's in Kansas, she'll drive like a bunch of hours to support her team. And so I can picture that she gives this order form out also. Okay, so this order form, and you're welcome to use this, has, the different scenarios, right? The quad, the complete, the perform, all that stuff. At the bottom, even the family health stay and complete your family healthy starts for families order. Like sometimes the kids, they're not getting the berry chewables or the berry blend capsules. This opens their eyes to maybe they would want to buy that for their children. So this is kind of a good order form if you're going to have an event. And then down at the bottom, it says, if you would like to become a family rebater partner to get paid back on your own orders or anyone you choose to share Juice Plus with, then 2 additional pieces of information. So I wanted to make sure you guys knew that, you know, when somebody is signing up for the shred, they are excited. It might be a good time to introduce the concept of the family rebater, getting money back, having other people join them in the shred as well. And just continuing to have that momentum of the shred. Okay. Evie, any last words? We are closing out our Lunch and Learn After Dark. Thank you guys for coming on.
No, thank you so much for having me. I actually have to run too because I have to go get
Yes.
Malia. But thank you so much. And you know, if something else comes up, I would be more than happy to help out. And Renee, I'd be more than happy to do a 3-way connection call if you ever need it. But I'm sure that you have a great leader in Karen as well. But I'd be more than happy to answer any questions, do any more role plays or anything like that. So thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it. Meant so much for you to ask.
Oh, thank you, Evie.
your
You are a joy. Okay, so we have some
You're a rock
action
star.
steps.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thanks.
Absolutely. All right. Bye, girls.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Evie.
And
Doug, yes.
And Doug.
Okay, so we have some action steps. The June shred is in 2 weeks. So we're at the perfect time to start promoting the shred. And so if you don't know about the shred, start learning about it through boards or thefreedomrevolution.com or ask your upline where to find things. So you could start inviting, you could start posting, you could even do the shred now if you've never done the shred so that you know what it's about, you know, and you could say, I'm doing the shred right now. There's one starting in June. And then just committing to the shred, you know, knowing that it's better for all of our health, right? And that we're going to talk about it if we're doing it as a lifestyle. And we will keep discussing this on the Lunch and Learn. Anybody else have any last action steps that we could just throw out there?
What do you say?
Don't forget the action steps.
So I was going to say, when Karen and I were talking, I wasn't sure if we did it every month or every other month, but she had said she's away in June, right? You're away in
Well,
June.
no, but
so
I have post my party, so it's gonna, and I thought I was missing the whole thing, but this starts June 6th and I get back the 7th, so I'll make it for most of it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Because what it's kind of what I was saying to you, and I'll share with everybody else. I sort of was taking the entrepreneurial / pharmacist side and was like, why don't I start promoting this to, and I get this is already out there, but sometimes it takes a while to click in my brain. And I'm like, why don't I start sharing this with people? Like, let me teach you these 10 guidelines. I'm looking for 2 clients to come on and I'm going to do it with you and coach you the whole way. And that just kind of came in my head from working in other groups, but I already have one of my friends said yes. Now I don't know if she'll buy everything, but she's still on the fence with joining the team, so maybe she will. So
Maybe
That was one of the
maybe a 3-way call.
That was one of the things that I was going to ask Evie, because I know that when we kind of started the shred a long time ago, just to get people involved, even if somebody couldn't afford, let's say, the capsules, they could shred with the shakes. It's better, obviously, to do the capsules too. So I don't know what everybody thinks about that, but to at least get them involved and in the community, starting them with at least something. You guys have thoughts with that?
I always, you know, wherever they're comfortable starting, I strongly suggest at all times the capsules and the shake. But if they're just like, oh, this is all I can do right now, I'm like, okay, we'll do that.
Right, what can you do? You know, that's where they're at.
I'm just glad they're opening the door to something.
I would say the best bargain in town is the duo and getting a child free. I mean,
Yep.
They're getting so much out of that. So if you're going to go down to anything, I would go down to duo and shake twice a day. The shake comes from the grocery bill. That is a meal replacement for people. They add stuff and it becomes a meal replacement. So that's redirected funding. And then the, duo is helping their health budget, their wellness or medical budget. And you want them on that. So the foundation Juice Plus is Juice Plus, fruits and vegetables. And then the other items or add-ons. So I would definitely kind of insist on the duo to try to, because they're also going to be detoxing. Part of the shred is detoxing, according to Mitra Ray. So they're going to detox from having fruits and vegetables. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Anybody
No, I
else?
agree. Sometimes I just can't. Okay, so the first item, because I know she said ask for support, and I guess I'll put this in Team Transformers. So are we going to do this in Team Transformers where if we're doing a post, we're going to put it in there and having people, like, I think maybe that's going to get the whole team excited then. Either that or they're going to leave Voxer. I'm not sure.
No,
if
the
we-
social media Voxer is a whole different thing. You can create a Voxer saying, hey, if you want to support each other with social media posts, join my Voxer. That'd be a different Voxer. Is
So
that good for
she used
you
to
guys?
do like, she would do like June is starting, I need someone to do day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. And you would sign up and then she would send you, like, there were like 4 things you were supposed to do. And then like, she had a big group, but then like, if you weren't doing July, you would leave the group.
Well, but that's a little,
Like on
but that's-
Voxer.
you didn't have to leave, but that's a little bit different. I think we're scaling it back because it's not just a shred group anymore. It's our health group. I can't even say customer group. It's a health group. So you don't want it to be where we're posting 7 times a day about the shred. I think if we can post beforehand, getting people excited about it, which we don't do now. And then, I have that one standard post every single day, but where the excitement was coming in is people adding in their recipes and their shakes,
Yeah.
drinking their shakes and doing different things like that. So I just posted this in the group and I had worked up an image. It just shows the dates for the rest of the year.
Great.
So, you guys can always save that, but you can tag people on that if you want to, if somebody wants to do a different shred post as well. So, yeah.
Well, everybody on here is basically either already at a leadership level or, entering leadership. Definitely has influence and at least a couple team members. So I would say the thing I love about leadership is like you could just choose almost anything. Like Elon Musk chooses to put humans on Mars, and he's going to do it. It's a matter of time. That's what the dude is focused on. So if right now the shred's not really like happening, it used to happen because it was part of the culture of our team. We used to really do it, So I think if we just all commit, not that everybody here has to be the ones that commit, but I'm definitely in. I think I've seen us get away from not having that as a regular thing, and it's not good. I think like what I see you doing with like yoga in the park and salad jar parties, and it's very much like a healthy lifestyle that people can see it on Facebook. So doing the shred is important. I think that's why Shelly Mackey has that as like a centerpiece of her business. And it's simple. Once we all learn it, like right now, we don't know what to cook. We don't know what to do. Most of the new people on the team, think about COVID. We have hundreds of new people. They've never even shredded before. That's why we're not getting engagement, Karen, because they're like, what is this shred thing? We haven't even heard much about it, But if we like start talking about it more and we really decide we're going to use this, then I think it could be good. I've never had great team and customers coming out of it personally, but I think I've always done the shred for me. And I always felt like I wasn't a good enough. I haven't gone far enough on my journey to really recruit people, but I know that's in my head.
Renee?
I've already coached myself about that tonight.
You
Yeah,
just
just
put
had-
yourself.
Just had a quick question. So when you're on the shred, is it one meal and then you're doing a shake to replace 2 meals a day? Is that what it's about?
You do 2 shakes, you eat more plants, you take Juice Plus, you avoid gluten, dairy, caffeine, alcohol, you exercise daily, you move your body. You guys help me if I miss something. And you stop eating, I like to say 6 or 7 p.m. because that freaks people out about 6 p.m. so that you can fast for the rest of the evening. And I might have missed something, but basically we don't tell people how many meals they're going to
We don't
have.
talk
From
about
what I
calories,
understand,
we don't talk about,
you just
yeah.
include 2 shakes and you try to, eat well, and that's going to do it because you're avoiding things that that put stress on your body. you know.
Okay, so
the
you're not
gluten
replacing
dairy.
a meal with a shake.
I talk about it a little bit different because I actually had somebody gain weight on a shred because they were eating what they were still kind of, and then adding in the shake. So I think if somebody wants to lose weight, replacing their breakfast, like instead of eating breakfast and then adding in that shake, I don't know, for me that.
Yeah.
I think that's common sense, you
Well, I
know,
mean, some of the stuff you
if they want to
see,
lose weight.
I don't want to say too much, but some of the pictures we see posted, people are obviously going to be gaining weight or getting less healthy from the shred. And you can find ways around it. Trust me, as a larger person, we know how to find ways around being healthy. Okay. So
Oh my.
that's why we got to look at the really healthy people and just do what I always just try to eat. Whatever Dr. Sirota is the ultimate eater I know. So I just try to, you know, when you go to a restaurant with her, it's always salad with salmon, bread. No,
True.
thank you.
Right.
What would you like to drink?
Dressing on the
Water.
side. No, I
Dressing on
don't
the
want the
side.
The
tortilla
biggest,
chip.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Also, it's supposed to be no processed foods.
Yes.
Oh,
So
yes.
if you're doing the shred and you're eating processed foods and you're eating all of this and you're having the shakes, yeah, you're gonna gain some weight. Putting in extra calories.
Yeah.
So, but I
But
think
we
if you're
also-
strict with the shred, then having the 2 shakes, number one, you probably won't want to eat as much because you're adding that. And that gives you that little bit of sweetness that you might crave. But yeah, and if you're not eating processed foods, you're not eating bread, you're not eating the processed sugars or anything with processed sugars, you're not eating cookies and cakes and all of that. So, you know, you're really kind of limited on what you can eat, but you can get creative with the things that you can eat, you know.
So let's talk about that on Friday. On Friday's Lunch and Learn, what types of things we should eat or strive for, things like that. Okay, because we've
And
already.
this Sunday, I'm
good
having a
stuff.
taste of health event at my house so that people can see there's so many healthy ideas and not feel as restricted.
Can you post some of the pictures from that in our group?
I'm gonna see if I can
Go
zoom it
live?
into the group.
Well,
I'll
good.
see, because I'm supposed to
Okay.
be also zooming it. Someone asked me, could I zoom the event? So I'll see if we could
But if you
plug it
did a
into.
reel, or went live and kind of give a tour of what's
Yeah,
happening,
that's
you
fine.
could just share that into the event off your wall.
Yeah, but as a host, it's really hard. So I'm gonna
Yeah,
have
I
to
know,
figure
I
out who's
know.
gonna be part of that. When you're hosting,
Maybe
everyone
Sharon
has a
should drive
question.
down and go to it.
Just a video of the food
Sharon
or a
should
picture of the
come.
food, you know? Well,
Yeah.
good. I'm glad you're doing that. I know we had so much fun doing that in South Florida.
And you went
All
over
right.
those action steps, right?
I did.
So one
He
of them
doesn't
was-
believe I
Well,
went
one
over
of
the
them is
action
to learn
steps.
about the shred. So
Yeah.
Renee, I think that's part of it too, is once you go to shred10.com or the Freedom Revolution, you start digging into what the shred really is and looking at the shred guide,
Yeah.
the recipes. You'll see.
There's so much stuff in there you can use for posts too.
Yeah.
Into our customer group would be great. Why, you know, why avoid gluten? Why avoid dairy? Why this, why that? And it's all in the shred guide.
Well, thanks for coming on. We hope you guys got value. Bring a teammate next week. We're still having
Yes,
a lot
yes.
of seasoned reps on here. We need to all try to get our newer people on because there's some gold.
On here.
There's some, I know, some
Yes,
real
yes.
gold happening. So tag some people on that replay too.
Right.
All right, you
Yes.
guys, have a great one.
Tag on the shred replay, tag on Nanette's compensation if you are a leader and you want your leaders to watch that. That was really good, Nanette. All right,
Oh,
bye, guys.
That's a weird.